Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana. I am an intuitive reader and healer, teacher of all things metaphysical, and it's my pleasure to be here today. This is the second holistic approach to hair wellness that women let us turn that off. This is the second episode in a new series where I am featuring students who are well-seasoned readers, some who are new to their journey with tarot, as well as old friends and new connections that I have made through the tarot community. So on most Saturdays, I will be here live sharing readings with these lovely people, these lovely souls that I have met all over the world. And today I have two students from this year's Tarot Foundations class, Sarah and Shannon. So I want to welcome you here today. And I see that some of our fellow cohorts are in the chat already. So we have lots of love and support for both of you. And yeah, so I would like to introduce each of you one by one, or I'd let you introduce yourselves and maybe just start by telling us a little bit about who you are and your tarot journey and how you found your way here. Do you want to go first, Sarah?
Yes, certainly. So I've always loved tarot cards, and over the years I've collected various decks which I've looked at and then put away on the bookshelf. And last fall I began reaching for them again. It seemed to be a time where I was seeking some maybe to set some intention for the day or to increase my mindfulness. So I gathered my tarot decks off the shelf and kind of dived right in. It seemed to be just a real, really good timing. So, and then I discovered your channel, which has been fabulous, and signed up for several classes with you. So I really feel now that I've embraced this journey, and there's so much to learn. And also, being an artist and graphic designer, I love the different aspects of the different decks, the different colors, the different symbols, the references, historical references. So they're just beautiful. They're just beautiful to look at as well. So always a source of fascination and interest. So that's a little brief overview of my tarot journey to date.
Well, it's been so great to have you in my classes, and privileged to meet you. And you're in Massachusetts?
I'm in Massachusetts. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get to Shannon, let's just say hi to everybody who had joined us in the chat. Welcome to Hannah, Dancing Soul Sister. And Shannon's husband is here supporting her during this live. So, Joel, welcome. Thank you for being here. You've been such a great supporter of all of my live streams lately. So thank you for being here. Mary Beth was on last Saturday and did such a great job with the live reading. So thank you for being here to support your fellow Tarot Foundation students today. And who else is here? I saw Lydiane is here. Hello, Lydiane. Lovely to see you. And Gerald, welcome to our Saturday morning chat and readings. Tina, hello from Sweden. Tina's also in this year's Tarot Foundations class. And for those of you that are interested in hopping on for 2022, the class is open. There's already students that have registered for 2022. And I am going to go live with the new students and have kind of a welcome party in the fall, because there's already people that are joining, and there'll be some early bonus classes for those of you that join. So the link, if you're interested, is in the description box below. And Anne, hello, lovely Anne. Anne is been watching this channel for a bit too, and she's part of the Facebook group. So I also have a Facebook group where I go live on Wednesdays. We talk about a weekly reading. We have a book club and all kinds of fun things. And so that is also down below in the description box. Karen, hello, Karen, another Tarot Foundations. I'm so glad all you guys are here. That's wonderful. Karen's in Victoria, so she's really close to where I am. Cheering on Shannon, Hannah, thank you, thank you. Misty. Oh my good. The whole class is here. It feels like. Is Joseph here too? Hello. I don't have glasses on. This is a long name. H. De La Lune, welcome. Konchak, hello.
That's my sister.
That's your sister?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. I really appreciate that feedback, Joel. That's just lovely. Okay, and anybody else who's in the background, hello and welcome for joining us here. So your turn, Shannon. So tell us a little bit about your tarot journey. This is a newer experience for you, right?
Yes, it is. My best friend's husband passed away in March, and we were both discussing the afterlife, and the topic of tarot cards came up. And so I decided to buy a deck to try to help her with her grief. And I thought that's all that it would be about. But when I got the cards, it was like a whole new world opened up, and I was enchanted by them, and their symbolism and their meaning, and the idea that I could actually help people with them. So having worked with specially abled people in my past, I had a whole appreciation for the accessibility of the tarot cards, like financially and literacy wise. To me, tarot is storyboarding the human psyche. And so basically, after I got the cards, I started looking things up on YouTube and reading books. And then I found Sadhana, and I found her foundations class, and the class has been just wonderful. And it gave me the courage to start doing readings for my neighborhood. It's an inner city neighborhood, so a lot of people had never been able to afford to get tarot readings before. So it was a first experience for them as it was a new experience for me. And now I'm doing readings on Facebook. So it's been a real snowballing experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you've become quite a deck collector.
I have a few decks.
Okay.
I can relate to that.
I believe, Sarah, is this family? Leatha Bennett?
That's a friend of mine in Massachusetts, and hopefully I have some family watching in from the UK. So, but I'm not sure if they sort of logged in or not.
That's great. I want to address this question here. So yes, shortly we'll be doing live readings, and you can go ahead and start putting your questions in the chat if you have a question. So you can start doing that at any time, and we'll get to that soon. So Sarah, what deck are you going to be working with today? And tell us a little bit about why you've chosen that deck.
Well, decks I've been falling in love with many decks in the last few months, but today I'm going to be using the Lightseers Tarot by Chris Ann. I recently purchased the deck and fell in love with the color palette, this beautiful purples and blues, and the feel is more contemporary, more diverse than the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. So I've just been really enjoying it. So I'll be using the Lightseers.
Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Shannon? What are you going to use today?
I'm going to use Poppy Pellin's Everyday Enchantment Tarot because it's extremely inclusive. It has people who are especially abled, like 4 or 5 different people in the deck, and it also has all sorts of different age categories and genders and you know, kids and older people, and it's just really, really inclusive of everybody, and I really appreciate that about this deck. So I thought I'd use that today.
Yeah, it's just lovely, just lovely. I'm going to use a deck that I opened yesterday. I unboxed it. I feel that for me, it's going to be an easy read. I am deeply connected to the yoga community, the spiritual community, and the creator of this deck is part of the Shivananda lineage, which is connected through that guru to Satyananda, which is the lineage that I'm initiated in. That's where my name Sadhana was given to me by my my guru in India. So I'm going to use this deck. I did a walkthrough of it yesterday, did some initial impressions, and I just feel it's a really lovely way to start working with it because it feels comfortable. It feels within my vocabulary. So what we're going to do today, and I just want to, Gerald, it's so lovely. It's so wonderful. What this whole COVID experience has given us in, I don't know, just the connections and the people all over the world. And I was commenting about Joel, and there are a couple of, I don't know, like my circle is there's young men like Joel, there's same aged women, there's, you know, Gerald has been part of my life for the last year through classes and connections and tarot, and I don't know, it just feels like such a menage of amazing people, and I appreciate the support and the connection immensely. It's been really, really something. So yeah, I just feel really grateful for all of that. Okay, so I'm just checking the comments and then we will get started here. And Ari, hello to Ari. And Donna. Hello to Donna. Donna's been so great, commenting all the time on all of my videos. All right, so I'm going to go back. I believe the first question is, just let me mark that first question and then we will. It was a question about what does O think of me? There we go. So there is the first question. Okay, so what we're going to do is Shannon and Sarah are going to take turns going first. They're going to draw a couple of cards, and for each of them will draw a couple of cards for your question, and then I'm going to draw one card and just summarize, do my best to summarize the reading and tie it all together. Okay, so let's. Sorry, one of you knows who H. de la Lune is? No? No? Okay. All right, so let's hold light and love and support around H. de la Lune. And if you are shuffling, I'm going to mute myself while I'm shuffling. And Shannon, how would you like to go first with this one?
Sure.
So, how does O feel about you, and what are his feelings?
Okay. Dear gods and goddesses, bless this reading with your divine guidance and make the best use of our own. Okay, the first card he has is the Ace of Coins. And the Ace of Coins is all about new beginnings and new creations of things like finding new ways to negotiate your relationship. The Ace of Coins is somebody who's energetic and who's down to earth and who's able to carry out a lot of different aspects of the aces, lots of ideas. The second card is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is all about walking forward in love and unity and sharing your heart. And so this card says that O is really feeling like he wants to share his heart with you and he wants to come forward in affection. The Ten of Cups is the next card. And that talks about happy families, generational familial happiness and abundance as well. And this card can also talk about maybe hopes for the future, as well as the current feelings that O has for you. That's what I'm getting out of these three cards.
Beautiful. It's a very optimistic reading. Sarah, what did you pull for H?
Okay, so I also pulled the Ten of Cups. So that's pretty incredible that we both pulled the same card, Shannon. So
Yeah.
the Ten of Cups, has that sense of fulfillment, of coming together, of harmony. So I would take that as a very positive sign about what O feels about you. And the second card is the Hanged Man, which kind of suggests that maybe not to rush into anything, maybe to let things evolve and unfold naturally. Maybe don't kind of rush things along. So maybe just chew on it for a while. But I think the energy is very positive.
Okay, so that's beautiful. When I see that Hanged Man card, H. Dillaloon, I feel there's a sense of freedom in not losing yourself. So if you look at the illustration of that Hanged Man, that person is, there's a sense of joy in the freedom of being you. Okay, I haven't pulled your card yet, so I want to tie this together. It's very, very optimistic. I would definitely invest. The Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Coins would suggest an investment into the relationship. Okay, so the card that I've drawn is similar energy to the Hanged Man card. This is the Four of Swords. And look at all those colors underneath. So the bed is nested in purple. And underneath we have the fire of the Manipura chakra, the orange of the Swadhisthana chakra, the red of the root chakra. And so what I'm feeling here is that the two of you are coming together with perhaps a bunch of issues and a bunch of connections that are bringing you deep together. And that's why you have the Ace of Pentacles. That's why you have the Page of Cups card. This is an opportunity to explore. And one of the things that also intrigues me with this is there's a very youthful looking person who's resting here. And I feel like coming into this relationship from that perspective, regardless of what your age is, like that Hanged Man is hanging upside down. And I said, I feel that sense of freedom. You want to enter into this relationship open and not grasping for anything. There's a very relaxed, healing, integrated energy to this card. Okay, so does that make sense? You want to really, I liked what I said right away about Sarah's card. Don't be lost in this relationship, and know this is definitely a relationship worthy of exploring and taking your time with. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for putting yourself out there, sharing this. These journeys are always so personal, you know. I'm very touched by the level of trust that people put in us when they don't even know who we are. So hello to Ana Luisa from Rio. And let me scroll on down to see if we have another question. Okay, got some feedback there. And Ari has a question. Okay, so Ari, will my personal life ever mesh to be as harmonious as my career life? All right, so Sarah, you can go first on this one. And
okay.
I will mute myself.
All right. Okay. Channeling guidance for this question to help us seek guidance. Okay. So the first card I pulled was the Wheel. And I'm going to kind of read it with the second one too, the Page of Swords. So I feel that the wheel is kind of showing that we're kind of, going through cycles and a sense of kind of completion. So perhaps that's the angle for your work situation, that things are kind of going through these cycles. The Page of Swords is kind of maybe more cerebral, more maybe kind of working on research, or focusing on getting your ideas sorted. So perhaps there's a sense that you need to have a shift of thinking, maybe be a bit more open, maybe put down the books, or maybe put down work where you're focusing and studying. So maybe kind of lift your head up and see what's around you. Perhaps the message there is that you're too consumed with your work to not be receptive to energy that's coming your way. So perhaps that's something that we can take away from this reading, to maybe be more receptive to the energy around you.
Thank you, Sarah. Shannon?
Okay. Dear gods and goddesses, bless this reading with your divine guidance and make the best use of our own. Okay, the first card I get is the Six of Blades. And the Six of Blades talks about a journey or a trip. And I think in this case, we're talking about your career, your personal life and your career starting to mesh together as one. Like this, you can see on this ice here, it's all basically one solid piece. And that's basically what your life and your personal life and your career are going to be like, is one solid piece that is all sort of together. The second card, which also sort of goes with that, is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is all about relationships and the harmony. And so with your question being whether or not your personal life will ever be as harmonious as your career, this card makes a lot of sense as to that definitely would be the case.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So the theme, one of the themes weaving through here is the wheel and the Six of Blades. So perhaps your perspective area is one that needs to be open to change, to moving in a new direction. And as Sarah was saying, that Page of Swords card, there's also an opportunity to grasp that sword and to think about this from a completely different perspective. And at the same time, we want to find harmony between what you are thinking and what you are feeling. So perhaps this change isn't entirely clear because you don't know what your harmonious, I'm just looking at your wording, your harmonious personal life looks like. So what I would suggest is that you get very, very clear on what you want your harmonious personal life to look like. And the card that I have drawn would suggest that you don't know. This is the Seven of Cups. So there are, this is beautiful. Look at the rainbow, all of the colors that are presented here. It's almost as if those seven cups are at the peak of the mountain, and there's an infinite number of possibilities of what this could look like. So it's up to you to get comfortable in the discomfort of change. Because in order to move forward with that Six of Blades, in order to see what is on the other side, in order to lean into that next turn of the wheel, you need to be okay with things being a little bit different. So I would suggest that you do a little bit of journaling, and you sit down and you make a list of, okay, this is what my life looks like, or draw what your life looks like, and feel. We have cup cards here, so you want to feel into what you want this to be. Okay, Ari? Thank you. Okay, I think we are. Thank you for that support. And hello to Donna Thompson. Namaste. And Dee, did I say hello? You're very welcome, H. de la Lune. And then let's go on to Joel. Okay, so this, Joel, you've asked a whole bunch of questions here. And so Sarah and Shannon, and those of you that are new to doing this, it's very hard to answer 3 questions in one draw. So what I want to, as you're shuffling the cards, acknowledge the question of endings. So we're going to look for endings. And if there are no endings, what is the message around that? Okay, so perhaps you're going to see beginnings. Maybe you will see endings. But what is the medicine? What are the supporting cards around beginnings or endings, should they appear in your readings? Okay. So let's go to are you ready to go again? Did you want to go first, Shannon?
Sure. Okay, dear God and goddesses, bless this reading with your divine guidance and make the best use of our own. So the first card that we have is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups talks about new beginnings to relationships. And you can see in this picture, there's a team of four different people, all of various backgrounds and abilities. They're all together, working together as a team. And this is basically an indicator that there's going to be some new relationships on the horizon. The Page of Coins indicates that these relationships will most likely be through your work life, because the Page of Coins is very much related to the work atmosphere. And you can see here he's very focused on earning his living and getting his work relationships on par with life. So that's that. Those 2 cards.
Sarah?
So channeling guidance for Joel's question. So the first card that I pulled was the Page of Wands, which has a sense of sort of liberation to it, and freedom and energy, with passion too. A very liberating sense of energy. And the second one is Temperance. So I don't sense any endings in these 2 cards, but maybe a sense that if you have open, positive energy, and that you're receptive to the people around you, that you'll be more receptive to sort of new relations coming in. I think the Temperance card is like a reminder not to kind of indulge or kind of go with extremes, to really be aware of just keeping balance in your life, and to make sure that you look after yourself and keep in mind that you need to be healthy, and to keep your kind of center, to focus on your center before bringing in external energy. So I think maybe, so a new relationship will come, but maybe just to focus on your own balance and your own sense of self and your own kind of groundedness.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm being struck by the number of pages that have come up today. So when I do live readings, even if I'm doing readings at my home or at the shop where I work, there tends to be themes throughout the day. There's an energy, and there's definitely an energy to a page energy today. So regardless of the question of all of your questions, those of you that aren't posting questions in the chat, the page energy wants us to embrace that aspect of ourselves. You know, when we were younger, when we had less fear, when we were pure of heart, when we didn't question those risks or the next step. We just allowed life. And so that's the energy that I want you all to kind of feel underlying your message today. To allow life just to be, and to feel a little more playful and optimistic about that. So Joel, for you, I drew the Knight of the Knight of Cups this is. And wands came to my mouth because I see this beautiful dragon in the background. And I love the androgynous nature of this knight. And I think that will speak to you, what little I know of you. There was another message here. Temperance is also Sagittarius, right? Connected to the energy of Sagittarius. So there may be, that might have a message for you as well too. You might be attracted to Sagittarius energy, or you might want to feel into or explore friendships with Sagittarian friends. Okay, and I also feel this beautiful fiery connection. This is a very balanced card, right? We have the Knight of Cups, who is very in touch with his feelings and his their sensitive side, and not afraid of touch, not afraid of feelings, not afraid of the heart space. But then we have this supportive dragon fire in the background. Now, depending on how you read the tarot, each of the court cards are associated with an underlying energy. And I'm not super familiar with this deck, but I'm guessing that the knights are all connected to fire in this deck, which is a lovely balance of masculine and feminine energy, receptive and active energy, which also connects to the Temperance card. So you want to seek a relationship that feels balanced to you, not one that takes you off on some kind of a wild party, but one that connects both to your heart and to your active side. So this is kind of what Spirit's shining through here. Shannon had the Ace of Cups, the Page of Coins, right? Page of Wands. So let go. Let go. And in letting go, allow, yeah, there's something softer, definitely softer here, and more harmonious. And wasn't that a word in a previous reading? Harmonious. Okay, so this is another kind of message that's coming through for all of you today. All righty. And Ari has lovely thank you to Sarah. Ari, thank you to Shannon.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, so Mary Beth Roden, you are up. All right. I'm going to go first for Mary Beth today. All right. Holding light and love, spaciousness around Mary Beth, both in her work and her personal life. Shower her with kindness, abundance, and contentment. Know that she is supported in all directions of time. Allow the cards to be a vehicle for a message from Spirit, and allow my words to share your wisdom. So be it. Okay. I would say yes, Mary Beth. This is the Ten of Wands. And I wonder if D is leaving a bunch of ruin behind. I wonder if D is burning bridges. And if this is the kind of message that you are looking for, there may very well be some mediation or some staff recovery that will be necessary as D moves on. And I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it feels like D is ready to move on. And so we need to let D move on because for whatever reason, D is done. I'm going to draw one more card. So it's the Four of Discs. This is a really interesting Four of Discs. I wonder if a wheel card is going to come up with Shannon or Sarah. In the energy, so what was the first thing that came up for me was that D is in that position where that kind of attitude, nobody can do the job as well as I can. That kind of person, you know, like they don't want to step down from being chairman of the board because nobody has it like I do kind of energy. That's what I feel that clinging of the Four of Pentacles is. And so the opposite side of that is D needs to bust free. D needs to let go. So you, the staff, everybody around you needs to support and encourage D to let go and to move on. Okay. All right, Shannon, what do you have? And I will come back and wind this all together once we've heard from Sarah.
I have the High Priestess. So I have where D needs to be very intuitive at this time in the career, and you can help D with this intuitiveness by supporting D with making decisions. And this is even supported by the Three of Cups, which shows the relationship of friendships or relationships that could be at work as well. So supporting, as Sadhana said, just supporting the person to make the changes that are necessary.
Sarah?
So I have the Page of Cups. Oh, yep. I have the Page of Cups, which seems to suggest that D is maybe idealistic or a bit dreamy, or maybe has maybe unrealistic goals about the workplace. So maybe D is keeping options open for looking for other possibilities. So and also the card in itself has a strange energy with a sort of a cut body. So it's actually kind of like physically moving into a different plane. So that does imply that there's will be a change in job. And the second card that I pulled was the Magician, which would support that D does have the skills and perhaps motivation to spark a change, that D is ready to move on. So yes, definitely looking for something, maybe an unrealistic expectation, perhaps.
There's several signs of D needing to move forward, needing a fresh start, celebrating. And I, again, allow D, celebrate D's departure. acknowledge and support D in their need to move forward. Right? That Three of Cups feels significant that Shannon drew. Also, we have the Magician and the High Priestess, right? The 1 and the 2 of the major arcana, which signifies, I feel that D has been thinking about this for some time, right? We're not at the 0. We've got the 1 and the 2. So D perhaps maybe a few steps ahead. The 10 of Wands that first card I drew, right, would also signify that the 10 is the 1, right? The 10 is, I'm going to say that D's had this going on in her mind, their mind, for some time. Okay, so thanks, Mary Beth, for asking. Okay, so we're going to go to Kathy B, and I'll get Shannon to start with Kathy B.
Okay, dear God and goddesses, bless this reading with your divine guidance and make the best use of our own. This is for Kathy B, career guidance. I pulled the High Priestess again. So the High Priestess is all about appreciating your intuition and being able to feel and sense the darker side of things, the shadow side, feeling your healing energies coming forth, and being able to just trust in yourself. So your career, you need to really just trust in what you're sensing and what you're intuiting right now, because if something is feeling like this is the direction you should be going in, then you should be listening to it. The next card is the Judgment card, and the Judgment card talks about the need to, it's a major arcana and another major arcana, and it's kind of talking about the need to let go of maybe judging yourself. You might have been hard on yourself for things you've done or not done, or wish you would have done, and this Judgment card just kind of says, let's let everything go and let's walk on into the new creation and see what can evolve. And so I think you need to just let go of some of the past situations that have happened in your career that haven't been successful, and just focus on the things that have been successful, following your intuition as you go.
Thank you. Sarah?
So I just pulled the Eight of Pentacles, which seems a pretty apt card for a career reading. So this is to do with, working on your skills and continuing to work on becoming more proficient at your field, and to stick with it. And the second card, the King of Pentacles, which is a very sort of complete and an energy of kind of great competence. And so it's, from these cards, I'm sort of sensing that that you're on the right track, that you have you have all the work skills at your disposal. So maybe it's up to you to sort of take the initiative after you make some decisions, that you have what it takes to make some career changes, if that's what you're looking for. But to have 2 pentacle cards with this particular question seems to be a good sign that you have the foundation that you need to change careers or to have a shift in work. So I think also there's a sense of that you're disciplined. And so I think, so all those qualities, I feel that are going to serve you well in working on your new career.
Don't be afraid to stir things up. You have, these are big hitter cards here that you have. 2 majors, 2 pentacles. So you can, I want to say think bigger. You have the leadership skills, you have the strength, the foundation, you have the balanced. It's a really interesting, the intuitive energy of the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles, right? There's an earthy quality, and this is not the Queen of Pentacles, this is the King of Pentacles. So you can take charge of your life. When I see the 8 of Pentacles, there's so many beautiful messages that come through, but really take stock of your resources at this time, because you have a lot of talents perhaps that you haven't used or explored. So really take some time to take inventory of all of your resources, because you have a lot of resources. Pentacle speaks to human resources, physical resources, all kinds of skills and things like that as well too. Okay. And the reason I'm encouraging you to stir things up, I want you to look at this 5 of Wands card that I drew. It's almost as if I feel this is a card of get out. It's exactly that. I want you to stir the pot. Think bigger. Like poke into things that you provoke. I like that word, provoke. Poke into things that you might challenge, things that you might not necessarily have challenged in the past, and know that you've got this. And don't second guess it. Just do that. The 5s represent transition and change. And so Spirit is saying, first of all, you have this, and now it's time to stir the pot a little bit. Okay. Thanks, Kathy. So much wonderful feedback here. So thank you everybody for your feedback. I can't go back and forth to the feedback and the questions because the chat skips up and down, but please know that we're seeing all of your lovely comments, and I will highlight them when we get to them. So we're going to go to Anne next. And I think I will lead the way with this one. It's a great question, Anne. What ancestral patterns do I need to work on at the moment? So for those of you that don't do ancestral work, or this is something that is unfamiliar, we carry a lot of different patterns in our lives. We have connections to our geographic locations. We have family karma, things that come through our DNA from ancestors in all directions of time. And I say all directions of time because I don't see time as lineal or chronological. So our future ancestors are also very much connected to what's going on here and now. Okay, so I want to call in the ancestors of Anne Haig in all directions of time, 7 generations in all directions of time, supporting Anne on her life journey and asking which patterns need to come to the surface at this time so that Anne can continue to grow and move and develop on her spiritual path, on her life path. Okay, so I have a repeating card. I've drawn this card already today. This is that beautiful 4 of Swords with the lower chakra energy underneath the purple color. So what I'm picking up on here for you, Anne, is that these messages are going to come through in your sleep. And the lower 3 chakras, so the root, the sacral, the manipura chakra, is where we carry the bulk of the karmic energy. These are the muddiest and the deepest issues. So as you prepare to go to sleep, and you are exploring this this question, have a journal by your bed, have a pen by your bed, do some preparation before you go to sleep, a walk, a little bit of restorative yoga, something, so that when you lay down to sleep, you fall into a deep sleep where you can be more receptive to dreams. Make sure you open up the portal, you ask the question as you go to sleep, perhaps write on the top of a fresh page, which ancestor wishes to connect with me tonight, or if you have a more specific question, and then drift off into sleep. I always like to say, and let me remember when I awake. And if you do awake during the night, start to make journal notes in the night. Okay. So this is kind of a message about process. I would say this is also an acknowledgement that these karmic patterns are definitely being stirred up for you as well too. Okay. So I've got another very fiery card here. This is the Knight of Wands. So these are the kings in this deck. This is a Thoth-based deck. Lots of rainbow energy, lots of colors. Leadership, taking charge. I feel like I've said this already today. So this is about taking, not second guessing yourself, knowing that you have the strength and the fortitude to take charge of career, family, love life, whatever it is you want to take charge of, and to, again, not to second guess yourself, and to allow that more active, fiery side of yourself to shine through. Okay. All right. Shannon, what do you have for Anne?
I have the Eight of Coins. So that's all about gathering together your resources and putting them up so that people can see them and you can show them to the world and get acknowledgement for those abilities, whether it's financial or whether it's being recognized in other ways. And the other card that I drew was the Moon. So that's a major arcana, which is an interesting card to pull because that's balancing between light and dark and the conscious and the unconscious. Just trying to keep that energy so that you know which way you're looking. This is the energy of the moon.
Sarah? Sarah, you're muted.
So I pulled the Magician again. So from this, it feels like all the energy's already sort of in you right now, Anne. I'm just going to go to the second card, the Seven of Wands. So, which seems to kind of has a lot of heat to it, which kind of backs up the energy from the Magician. So it seems from the Seven of Wands that maybe to withdraw and reflect a little bit, maybe following on from Sadhana's card, the to go internally a little bit and reflect, and maybe not to be influenced by outside energies. So maybe it's kind of from within, sort of kind of holding your own space to allow yourself to do some inner journeying, but not being influenced by external noise or factors. So a sense of kind of like quiet and inner contemplation I see in this one. Some meditation.
So there's a couple of threads here. One is the energy of what I was saying about dreams and the fact that Shannon drew the Moon card, which is a nighttime card. So these messages are definitely going to come through in that energy. And you're in the Northern Hemisphere, so these summer evenings also take advantage of that. Maybe this is about taking your meditation outside or doing some stargazing or something like that as well too. So connect with night energy, and it's through the energy of the darkness. Maybe prepare yourself for the next full moon. Do something really special the next full moon energy. Lunar energy is also going to connect us with our Piscean friends. So if you are aware of birth dates and so forth of your ancestors, perhaps there is a particular ancestor connected who was a Pisces. So there's that as well too. But we have a lot of fire here, Anne. So the Magician and the Seven of Wands, this very fiery Knight of Wands energy here. So there's an action they want you to take, right? To take charge, to take. Seven of Wands. So yeah, so there's a, I don't know, like maybe you need to stand up for an issue or to stand up for another. Okay, so be brave. Be brave. Find that inner warrior that you know is inside you. All right, let's get rid of that. So it's fun. It's so fun. And I feel the same thing last week with you, Mary Beth. It's beautiful how the tarot can weave these stories. And for those of you that are watching that don't read the tarot, it's something that takes time, and there's a comfort level, and there's a level of practice and trust as well too. Trust in the art, trust in the history, trust in whatever is flowing through you. It's really beautiful. Joel says, I can relate to it very much. Thank you, Shannon and Sarah. You two are magical. Okay, and the chat just skipped. Just give me 1 second here.
Thank you, Joel.
And Joel does connect to a Sagittarian, so that's interesting. Misty is cheering you guys on, so thank you, Misty. And Michelle is here. Hello, Michelle. Michelle is in West Vancouver, British Columbia. And Michelle has would love a general relationship read. Okay, is there one coming forward soon? Okay. All right. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. Dear gods and goddesses, bless this reading with your divine guidance and make the best use of our own. The first card that I pulled is the Two of Coins. The Two of Coins talks about balance, and that balance could be in the balancing relationship with work life or other priorities that you might have right now. So as far as a relationship happening, you might sort of be worried about what your priorities are and whether or not you can relax into a relationship. But this Two of Coins definitely speaks of trying to balance out priorities and a down-to-earth type of energy. The next card that I get is the King of Blades, King of Swords. And so that's a mature energy who's very honest and sort of speaks the truth, can have a lot of different types of jobs, and could be an individual that you might be meeting in the future. This energy is mature and very erudite kind of individual to meet. So you might find him in like a courthouse, like this card shows, or some type of job where he uses his brain more than anything. But that shows that there might be an individual waiting in the wings for you.
Thank you, Shannon. Sarah?
Hi. So the first card that I've drawn for Michelle is the Tower. So I'm thinking that perhaps there will be some revelation, some introduction that will come out of the blue with no warning. That there might be somebody might just come right out of the sky, so to speak, and knock you right over. So, and the second card is the King of Wands, which is a card of kind of great warmth and great confidence and kind of ease in his own skin. So perhaps with this question about one coming forward, perhaps the message there is to be comfortable in your own skin and to allow your warmth to come through and your confidence and and be ready, right? Sort of be alert. I mean, this king is very, very observant and on alert. So perhaps you don't want to miss an opportunity. So I think this particular king has a wonderful energy about him with this lion over his shoulder. So you have a lot of strength supporting you and a lot of confidence, a lot of that sort of Leo energy right behind you. So I think the energy is very good. I think it might be somebody right there that you don't even know about. So
I have a king
what
too.
do you think, Sadhana?
I have a king too.
Oh, 3 kings.
Mm-hmm. We 3 kings of Orient are. I have a king of swords.
Oh, I had the King of Swords keys, so too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I also have the 4 of discs, and we have the King of Wands. So this feels very this 4 of Pentacles feels very King of Pentacles energy. Established, right? It feels established. And this is more of a spiritual take on the King of, so in this deck, the Knights are Kings. It's a Thoth-based deck. So it feels, Shannon's illustration was quite cerebral, right? Where we were looking at a judge or a lawyer. And this one feels more spiritual. So you have an energy of somebody who is established and mature. Love that there is a King of Wands energy balancing the cerebral aspect of the King of Swords. So what are we saying? It's not going to be a young boy toy, right? We have a mature, perhaps earth-shattering event that will bring the 2 of you together. The Tower is an important card to acknowledge. And this may be shaking up values even, shaking up expectations, letting go of what you always thought it was that you needed. And again, today there's this, with that card showing up, I want to say there's this allowing of spirit to bring this energy forth, even though this might not be the energy that you would have seen yourself with in the past. So be open to this and let go and let, I feel like there's somebody who wants to care for you deeply And with that strong king energy, there's a need for you to soften and to be receptive and to shine in your feminine, to balance all of that strong masculine energy. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so we are past the hour, and I want to say thank you to everyone so much for your amazing feedback for Sarah and Shannon. And I will be back next Saturday with Misty, who is in the chat, and Misty's going to do some readings. I'm not sure if she will have a partner or not, but Misty and I will be here next Saturday, the 21st, at the same time. And I'll also be here on Tuesday doing live readings. So yeah, Shannon is doing readings on Facebook. Her Facebook page is linked below in the description box, Pay It Forward Tarot. So if you'd like to connect with her that way. And Sarah's website is also below in the description box if you would like to connect with Sarah and you felt connected to her. And again, if you're interested in working with me and exploring your tarot journey, I do a lot of teaching of tarot. So please reach out and connect, and all my info is below as well too. So I just want to say thank you. And for those of you that didn't get a reading, please come back next Saturday or next Tuesday. Essence O, hello, and see you Tuesday or next Saturday. You're very welcome, Kathy B. And Anna, please come back soon, and we will answer your question another time. Who else is here? AM, hello. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope we can see you next time. Gina, hello to Gina. And I saw another face here, Elizabeth. And Jen is here. Hello, lovely Jen. And Jen is in Australia. She's been a great supporter of this channel. And there you go, Elizabeth. So we'll see you next time, Elizabeth. So again, thank you to everybody for joining us. And Sarah and Shannon, just hang around for a minute and we'll wind this up behind the scenes. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.